Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Now in today's video I am going to be reviewing a full face by the brand PYT Beauty. So PYT Beauty is a clean American beauty brand. They're also 100% cruelty free and completely vegan. So I have featured PYT multiple times already on my channel. I am quite familiar with their line and with their makeup, and recently they actually have relaunched their entire brand. They have revamped their packaging and they have come out with some new exciting products. Now listen you guys, I have not picked up everything by this brand just yet. I really don't have that many new things, but just rest assured that most of these products that I have you can still purchase. They just have new packaging. So it's the same formula, just new packaging. Just a couple of things that I do have seem to be discontinued. I will point that out, of course, in the review. But you know, I've got my hands on what I think is the most exciting new launch. I got my hands on 3 out of the 4 newly released eyeshadow palettes. And I'm so excited to be showing them to you today, to play around with them a little bit. Of course, I can't be putting them all on my eye. This is the look that I've created, but I'm going to show you a couple of other looks that I've created on different days where I was testing out these palettes. So another thing that I really truly like about PYT Beauty is their price point. They have a pretty low price point in the greater scheme of all of these clean beauty brands, and I really do appreciate that. Of course, there are going to be some hits and then there are going to be some misses in this review, but most of these products by PYT, I actually truly enjoy them. Also, I just want to throw it out there, I do have a discount code with PYT, so if you do want to take 25% off the regular price, you can definitely do that with my code. I'm going to put it right here, and I'm also going to put it in my description box below where you can find some more links, some more affiliate codes, so in case you want to support the channel, I would really appreciate it if you want to use the code to make any purchase, you know, if you can. If you don't, that's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to have pointed that out. And also, in case you have not subscribed to my channel just yet, I would absolutely love to have you here. You just gotta hit that subscribe button. You can also ring the bell in order to stay notified about my upcoming content. And if you do enjoy this full face review by PYT at any point, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. That would be very much appreciated, of course. But yeah, I've got some products here in front of me. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to put these products on my face with you so you can see it. And I'm going to talk you through all of the products. So yeah, without no further ado, I would say let's just go ahead and let's review PYT Beauty. So here I am. I'm obviously not barefaced. I've already put on my base products. I've put on a primer, I've put on the Bite Beauty foundation, and I've used the PYT concealer, which seems to be discontinued. So, you know, I still have it here. I mean, it's not necessarily my favorite concealer. I just put it on my under eye and I put it a little bit on my chin today just to cover up some spots on my chin, and, you know, I just try to brighten up my under eye a little bit. I used the shade Fair Neutral in the beginning in my corner, and then I used the shade Light Peach. So there were stick concealers like that, and then you had also a little brush on the other side. So the formula on this was sort of waxy. It wasn't the easiest to blend out. Sometimes I had to use my finger or a brush. It didn't work well with a sponge at all. So, you know, in that sense, maybe they're gonna come out with a better concealer. I would hope so, because this wasn't necessarily my favorite concealer of all time. It was a more affordable option and it worked. It did its job, but in terms of texture and of formula, those were definitely not my favorite ones. But I still decided, because I have them, I just used them today. But yeah, you can't buy these anymore, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen. However, PYT has released a primer. I don't have that primer. I also don't have that mist, that sprayer mist that you can use before makeup application or to set your makeup with. I don't have that, but I've got a bunch of complexion products. So I feel like we should just jump into all of these beautiful complexion products and complexion colors such as bronzer, blush, and highlighter. So let's actually start off with their bronzer. So this is the Faux Sun Bronzer Duo, and this retails for $20. So this is their bronzer. I featured this in my favorites video of 2020. You do have a matte bronzer on this side, and then you have somewhat of more of a lighter sort of shimmery bronzer on this side. Now, to be honest, I never see that shimmer coming through. Never. I wish they would have come out with more than just this shade, because they always used to just have this one shade and they did not change that. I feel like this bronzer will not work for anyone with a deeper skin tone. I'm not sure what they were thinking by relaunching their products with a new packaging, coming out with new products, and kind of not thinking about their amazing bronzer formula, you know. I feel like they should release that in more shades, which would be great. Maybe that's still coming, I don't know. So the way I like to do this is I like to take my slanted brush here, and I always like to go in with this side of my brush. I like to dip that into the darker side right here, and then the side of my brush where the bristles are a little bit looser, I'm going to dip that into the shimmer side. I'm basically kind of doing this, you know. And I always place my bronzer brush like that, so it kind of creates a shadow effect. That's why I really like these duo pans. It's kind of a little bit of a hack. And yeah, so let's just apply this. This bronzer is also not too pigmented, so you kind of can go in with your brush without feeling like you have too much product on your brush and you're gonna end up with so much product on your face and with so much pigment straight away. So in that sense, I really, really love this bronzer because it's quite buildable, has a super nice undertone, not too warm, not too cool, pretty neutral, honestly. So the only thing is when I contour my nose, I will always just take the darker shade. I'm not going to go into the lighter shade because there's no point. It does pull pretty light on me. I really love this bronzer. I feel like this is such a pretty shade. It's a great formula. So let's actually move on to their blushes. So this is the Hot Flush blush, and this retails for $20 as well. So I am pretty sure that they used to have 4 shades. Now I'm looking at this relaunched blush. I still think it's the same formula, it's just a new package. But they only have 3 shades now. And guess what? The shade that I love so much, they got rid of it. I had the shade Hustle, and right now they only have the shade Flirty, which is described as a mauvey rose. They have the shade Head Rush, which is a peachy coral, and they have the shade Exhale. Exhale, I have that one too. That is described as a soft, dusty pink. But what happened to Hustle? That was my favorite shade, and look, I still have the very first generation of their packaging. Their very first packaging had this mirror in here too. And now the product is called Hot Flush Blush. Back then it was called Heartbeat Cheek Color. What is happening? I am so confused. Like, why would they take away that one shade that I love? This shade Hustle is still available on the Green Jungle Beauty Shop if you want to pick it up, because it's super pretty. It has a little bit of a golden sort of shimmer in here, but you can't really see it that much. You can see the shimmer in this blush a little bit more than, in the bronzer. I'm just gonna apply it. And now I'm gonna go in with this other shade that is still available, the shade Exhale. This shade is very pale pink, so it's very cool toned as well. So whenever you have anything too warm toned on your face, you can basically take this and cool it down. It is very bright pink, so it's not gonna like really work on every skin tone. I feel like I can pull it off on the apples of my cheek, but I couldn't pull it off everywhere, you know. Also, you guys, what is happening? I can't find their highlighter on there anymore. I don't understand. I really hope they are not going to pull this product completely, because I love this highlighter. And I have it in 2 shades, and we're still gonna put it on for today's video because I love it. So this is their upgrade highlighter, and I have this in the shade Backstage Pass, and I have it in the shade Courtside. So the shade Courtside is this crazy icy highlighter. It is really glittery, but I like it. You know what, let's apply this first because I might just top it off. This one is definitely more champagne-y, more beigey, more skin tone friendly if you don't like that extreme shimmer highlighter. But can you see that? It's so freaking beautiful. I really adore the reflect on these highlighters. They're so pretty. So hopefully they are still gonna come back out with them. I'm not sure. I really hope so, because there was nothing wrong with this highlighting formula. I love it. It's so, so nice. So let's apply this other highlighter. The shade Courtside, this really icy glittery one on the other side. It's super glittery. I mean, you could use this as an inner corner highlighter, pretty much. I mean, I like both. This one is definitely more wearable. This one is more like in your face, you know? And I feel like I'm gonna top it off a little bit with this. Otherwise, I'm gonna have 2 different highlighters on my face. Such an amazing product. I hope these highlighters are gonna make a comeback on the website, because where are they? That is so confusing. I'm so sorry. I thought they were still there. Anyway, so my complexion is all done. Now, I would kind of go in with their setting spray, but I don't have that, so, you know, which is all right. I'm just gonna use a little bit of my Hourglass Veil. All right, so my complexion is done, so let's move on to the eyes. So in terms of eye products, there's kind of a lot right here. So let's actually start off with their brow pencil. So this is the Brow Golds pencil, and this retails for $14. Now they actually have this in 5 shades. I've got the shade Taupe. Yeah, I've got the shade Taupe. This pencil is actually shaped in a really nice way. It's, don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of a straight pencil, just kind of like flattened out. Now they actually also have a brow gel. I think this is new. This is the Holy Grail brow gel. They only have it in a clear shade. I tend to not really get clear eyebrow gels. I always tend to get the tinted ones. So I don't really have it, but just know it's there and it's new, I think. I don't think they had that before. So I'm just gonna fill in my eyebrows with this pencil. This is also the old packaging. Still the same shade range, still the same formula and all. I feel like this brow pencil really allows you to be really precise with everything. Has decent pigment as well. I'm just not sure about my shade. My shade might be a little bit too dark, this taupe shade. I feel like I should have gone in with a lighter shade, because I kind of hate when I make my eyebrows look darker than they should be. And I feel like the shade Taupe pulls pretty dark, to be honest. So let's move on to the new eyeshadow palette. So the newly released eyeshadows by PYT were the one thing that really caught my eye, because I was a huge fan of their old palettes that are discontinued now, and they've replaced these 2 palettes with 4 brand new palettes. Now I've picked up 3 of them. So instead of the palettes that did contain 8 different shades, we now have a palette with 12 different shades. So let's have a look at the 3 palettes that I picked out of the 4. So this is the Upcycle eyeshadow palette Cool Crew Nude, which retails for $28. This is the Upcycle eyeshadow palette Rowdy Rose Nude. And this is the Upcycle eyeshadow palette Party in the Nude. Now I didn't pick up the warm lit nude. For some reason I was more drawn to these eyeshadow palettes. And now in hindsight I wish I did. So I would have had all 4 eyeshadow palettes to show you guys. But I did pick up these 3. Basically because there's 3 eyeshadow palettes, there is no way on earth that I can show you all of these at once on my eye. But what I did was, a couple of days ago, I started playing around with these eyeshadows the very first time, and then I filmed everything I did. So the very first eyeshadow palette that I do want to talk about is the Rowdy Rose Nude palette. Here it is. Let's have a look at this. So the one thing that bothers me already about this new packaging is the fact that this doesn't open up fully, you know? This will always just kind of like do this. So let's have a look at all of these shades. I'm going to swatch them on my arm for you guys. Now these shades don't have names, so I'm just going to show them from the top row left to right to the bottom row left to right. Now when I was playing around with this palette, I did create 2 different kinds of looks. Now the very first look I did create was pulling extremely purplish, extremely pinky. There is no other way around. Like, although this is called nude, for some reason, all of these shades are kind of gonna look very pink on the eye. The one thing that bothers me a little bit is we only have 3 shimmer shades. There's so much matte in here. I feel like there's a lack when it comes to metallic, shimmer, and glitter shades. In general, this is not a very high pigment palette. I definitely will have to play around with them a little bit, but if you are using a lot of these shades, you're gonna end up with a very pink eye look. No matter what you're gonna do, it's gonna pull completely purple pink, and there is no escaping the pink or the purple when it comes to this eyeshadow palette. I mean, it's a rose nude palette, so you can imagine that is basically what you're gonna get. It's a bunch of rosy, lavender, purple sort of shades. I still think there's a little bit of a lack when it comes to the shimmer shades, you know. And another thing that is definitely lacking in this palette is the depth of tone. I feel like there is a nice selection of pretty bright colors and a nice selection of mid-tone colors, but there is a serious lack of deep colors. So if you want to deepen up your eyeshadow look, there is no way you can. There's just no way. This might be the deepest one out of all of them, and this is still very much a mid-tone shade. It's not pulling that dark. Now I feel like these shimmer shades on their own, on the lid, they don't have that much base pigment. It's almost like you have to take your finger and swipe them on to get a little bit more pigmentation, which is not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's kind of like one thing to keep in mind. So let's move on to that next palette and let's talk about the Party in the Nude palette. I was like, this is the palette that I will probably like the most. But in all honesty, I mean, I like it and stuff, but there were a couple of things about this palette where I was just kind of like, oh my god, no, this is not working for me. I mean, not working for me in the way that I imagined it to work when I saw the picture, you know, how I envisioned this to work. But yeah, there were a few things that I want to point out. I'm going to show you all the shades swatched on my arm. With this palette, at least we have one shade that pulls a little bit darker, but again, I feel like because this has this medium pigmentation and this formula that you kind of want to build up, again, there is a lack with the deeper shades. So we have a lot of bright shades, but not really a deep shade, you know. This time around, we've got 4 different shimmer shades, and then the rest is all matte shades. So we have 8 different matte shades. So when I tried this palette out for the very first time, of course, my very first look, I was like, you know what, I gotta try out this turquoise sort of color. I really wanted to try this out and combine it with this blue shade. That really did not work in my favor. I looked ridiculous because this shade pull completely purple on me. Like, I mean, periwinkle, purple, lavender, everything but blue. So I decided to get rid of it. The problem for me was that this turquoise color just didn't really have the pigmentation I expected it to have. If you want to make this work, just use it on its own. Just put it all over. But otherwise, combining this color with other colors, you're just gonna run into some trouble. It is an interesting palette. I definitely have to play around with this a little bit more just to get the grip of it, just to find a better way of combining these shades with each other. But it's cool, you know, it's a cool color story. So in that sense, I like it. But I feel like the one palette I'm gonna end up using the most out of these three. This one, I'm so glad I bought this. This is less colorful, but it's still colorful enough. Also, what I like about this palette is the fact that they've included actually a little bit more of a deeper shade here, because that's really my biggest critique with these other palettes. Let me just explain you what I mean, because I've got their old palettes right here, the ones that got discontinued. And can you see what I love about this was you have a bright shade right here, you have a mid-tone shade right here, and then you have your deep shade right here. I really love this palette for the simplicity, for the ease of use actually. And I always thought that this formula was great. Oh yeah, another thing is they actually released an eye primer. I don't have that, so I'm just gonna do my technique that I always do. I'm gonna take my Lila B concealer. So I'm gonna go in with the shade this is really kind of a transition shade. It's really pretty though, I like it. But as you can see, it's very bright in tone. And I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, the number 6, which is more of like a caramel sort of brown. I feel like these two shades are very, very soft. So I'm gonna take a different brush too. I'm gonna go into the shade 11 here, which is more of like a red toned sort of rosy, cool tone brown, and add a little bit of life into this. So sorry guys, my camera literally cut off, my SD card was full, but what I've been doing, what the camera didn't pick up anymore, was that I deepened my crease with this deeper shade in here, the deepest shade basically that there is. Like, there is no other option to really deepen up your crease. I feel like these shades pull very, very soft, and I also put that shade on my lower lash line. I basically used this shade first, and then I went in with this shade. And that's everything I have done so far that you guys weren't able to see. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I want to kind of continue and do a little bit more of my lower lash line, because that's where I left it off. I'm just going to go in with, where's that brush? Right here. I'm just going to take this brush and deepen this up a little bit. I don't think I've put this shade right there. Yeah. So now I'm going to go in with this creamy shade right here. I'm just going to go into my inner corner and brighten that up a little bit. And I feel like I'm also going to take this a little bit on my lid. You know what? I'm going to take this shade a little bit. I haven't played around with this. This looks a little bit darker. I'm just going to pull it onto the edge. That is kind of patchy on me. Looks a little bit patchy, to be honest. Kind of shimmery, but it's not very shimmery. Okay, but let's play actually with this color right here. I'm gonna take this color and try and get this on my lid. I really like this color. This is so pretty. It's also kind of a cool toned purplish brown. So let's actually go in with a little bit of this shade right here. I'm going to take this. This color right here, it's so stunning. I love it. It's really nice. But I'm going to go in with the lightest shade too and put that, you know what, I'm going to take a different brush. I'm going to put that into my inner corner. Alright, you guys, I feel like my look is complete. And before we move on to the mascara, actually, let me actually talk to you about another product. They had this product, but they had this in different shades and they came out with new shades. So this is the Glow Me Liquid Eyeshadow and this retails for $18. So they basically used to have this in two different shades. They had this really intense golden shade. I love this one. And then they had this absolutely stunning iridescent shade, but unfortunately this one is not available anymore, so they still have the gold one, which I suppose is kind of the same one as this one. So and then they have the champagne and they have a rosy nude. I had to pick up the champagne one, so I got myself this one. Now I will say the formula on this, I feel like they've changed it though. Like I feel like this was a little bit more gel-like and this is really behaving like a liquid eyeshadow. I basically used this the other day when I used the Cool Eyeshadow Palette as well all over my lid. It looked so freaking beautiful. I literally took the doe foot and I applied it on my lid little by little and then I tried to blend it out. And it was so easy to blend out. It did not dry down really quickly, so I had some time to actually work it in with a brush and wow, I love this. This champagne shade, I'm so glad I got this because I love a good liquid eyeshadow. And this one has a ton of glitter though. I mean, it is very pigmented, has a lot of glitter, and you really just need the smallest amount, you know. And I feel like you could also just use this on its own. You could definitely build this up. You could do a couple of layers, wait until it dries down and then apply more. So you're also gonna get more product now because this had 3.6 milliliters and now this one has 4.3 milliliters. How many products do I have left? I've got 2 products left. I have a mascara and a lip product. So let's actually move on to the mascara. Now they actually re-released the mascara as well. They have a new packaging with that one. So this is the Swipe Right 12-hour mascara. And this retails for $18. This wasn't called Swipe Right. This was called, I don't even know. Double-sided primer and mascara. I don't know what this was called. They got rid of the double-sided one because that primer was so useless. Maybe they have reformulated this one and it's much better now because I never liked this and I feel like mine has gone bad. It doesn't smell good anymore. So I don't want to risk putting this on, but I definitely have some footage somewhere where I put this on. I can just tell you that this didn't do a lot for my lashes. This was just one of these mascaras where I was just like, I don't know, this does not do anything for me and it took me ages and ages and ages to build it up. I just feel like I'm going to use a different mascara. I just have my Ilia mascara right here. I'm going to put that on. I really hope PYT has reformulated this mascara. I just did not like it that much, you know, but I'm also really picky with mascaras. Oh yeah, and I should mention that they actually came out with this mascara in an electric blue shade. Looks really interesting. I would be willing to try that one day, maybe. But let's actually move on to the next category. Let's move on to some lip products. So they've actually released quite a few new products. They actually released a So Extra tinted lip balm. I don't have that. Looks really interesting. They have a Sorry Not Sorry lipstick. They have a Dew Me lip gloss. I don't have any of these. And they have their Plump It Up lip gloss in clear, which they used to have, but I also don't have that one. I actually have Friends with Benefits lip duo, and this retails for $18. I don't think this was called Friends with Benefits. Who comes up with these names? So I actually do have this in 2 shades. So they actually have this product in 4 different shades. This shade, Deja Vu, that one, they don't have that one anymore. No, they don't have this one anymore. Just these 2 were gifted to me by the Green Beauty Jungle shop with an order. I just got these for free. So because I got these for free, I had no saying in the shades that I wanted. But this Deja Vu never worked for me. Super, super deep. I kind of looked ridiculous with it. But they still have this shade, Iconic. And this shade Iconic, it's described as a natural pink, which is cool toned. So this comes with a lipstick and with a gloss. So you can actually use the lipstick and then top it off with the gloss, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use the gloss on here. This shade is actually really stunning. I really, really like it. So let's just apply it. I would actually love to try out their lip glosses because I love this. This actually took me a minute to appreciate it because I rarely wear pink lip glosses in general. This lip gloss really does have some pigment to it, but it's not overly pigmented. It's just gonna make your lips look so natural. I really, really love this. I love this shade Icon, and it's very rare that I like a pink sort of product on my lips, but this, I'm obsessed with this. This is so stinking beautiful. It looks so natural. It's not an intrusive pink. It's kind of a muted pink, you know, a cool toned muted pink. The formula is so nice as well. Now I will say this feels very creamy. It does not feel like a cushiony wet lip gloss. It almost feels more, it's almost more like a balm formula, a nicely pigmented balm, you know. But yeah, you guys, those were all the products I have by PYT Beauty. Now, if you decide to pick anything up by them, please don't forget I do have this discount code where you can take 25% off of their official website. I'm going to put it right here, and I'm also going to link it in the description box. Now, please do be aware that this is an affiliate code, and I would obviously appreciate it if you could use it, but if you don't want to, that's all right as well. But it's going to give you 25% off of this already very affordable price. Anyway, you guys, do let me know if you have tried out anything by PYT Beauty, or if you would be willing to try out any of these new eyeshadow palettes. But yeah, I feel like this brand has quite a lot to offer, and their makeup, honestly, it's stunning, you know. A lot of these products work really well, perform very, very well for a pretty affordable price point, and that's why I really enjoy this brand. So I really hope you enjoyed this video as well. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed to my channel just yet, I would absolutely love to have you here, guys. You just gotta hit that subscribe button. You can also ring the bell in order to stay notified about my upcoming content. And yeah, I shall be seeing you on here very, very soon with the next review. So please do take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.